We saw quite possibly the most chaotic race of the season so far at Hungary, with Valtteri Bottas and Lance Stroll playing a game of bowling on the first corner, with both mistakes taking out both Red Bulls, both McLarens and Ferrari's Charles Leclerc, as well as both Lance and Valtteri. It left Esteban Ocon and Sebastian Vettel in P2 and P3 by the time the red flag was called, with everyone except Lewis Hamilton pitting for slicks on the formation lap due to the drying track, which arguably led to one of the weirdest restarts in F1 history. This eventually led to Esteban winning the race after holding off Vettel for pretty much the entire Grand Prix, who came home in P2, with Hamilton rounding off the podium after an amazing comeback through the field. It was a fantastic effort from the Alpine team, which brought home an insane amount of points for the French colours, as well as Aston Martin thanks to Vettel's efforts. It wasn't a bad race. However, a few hours later, something absurd was announced by the FIA, the disqualification of Sebastian. The reason? For the team's inability to extract a 1 litre fuel sample from his car at the end of the race. Now this was absolutely ridiculous, and understandably a huge part of the F1 fanbase was sent into outrage, myself included. Not only was Vettel stripped of his points, but this also meant everyone behind him was promoted up a place, pushing Aston Martin heavily down the standings. Now here's my logic regarding the situation. The FIA really need to have a look at the rules and apply some common sense when regarding incidents during and after the Grand Prix. In my opinion, the severity of the penalty should depend on the severity of the incident, and in this basic principle, the FIA is been caught lacking a number of times this season. Take the British Grand Prix for example, where Verstappen was hit off the track into the barriers by Hamilton. He only received 10 seconds for the incident, which is equivalent to crossing a white line on pit entry twice, as shown by Yuki Tsunoda at the Austrian Grand Prix. Just put that into perspective. FIA logic means crossing a white line twice is just as bad as sending your championship rival into the wall at 51G. Now, if that doesn't sound bad enough, let's head back to our Vettel fuel situation. Vettel was disqualified as 1 kilogram of fuel could not be extracted from his car at the end of the race. Now, F1 rules dictate teams must ensure a 1 litre sample of fuel can be taken from the car at any time during the event. I did some digging around in the rules regarding fuel and found a statistic which claims that running less fuel can give a performance advantage, as each 1 kilogram of fuel equates to an average of about 0.035 seconds a lap. In the world of F1, that can be a slight advantage to a driver with an underfueled car, but it does not in any way make sense for the driver in question to be disqualified, in this case Sebastian Vettel. It's not that hard to picture if you run the numbers in a calculator. There were 70 laps in total for the Hungarian Grand Prix. If Vettel was running without an extra 1 kilogram of fuel in his car, to find out how much time he gained, you simply multiply 70 with 0.035, which is the amount of time you lose a lap with an extra 1 kilogram of fuel, which gives you 2.45 seconds. That's literally it. 2.5 seconds gained by Vettel for not having an extra kilogram of fuel. And what did he get for his unfair gain? Disqualification. It's simply stupid. A suitable penalty should have been 5 seconds, at the worst 10 seconds. When put into this kind of context, I hope it's clear of the point I'm trying to make, that the severity of the penalty should depend on the severity of the incident. Unfortunately, we're in no position to be issuing paperwork to the FIA, as nobody really knows us, but we hope you guys can change that by hitting that subscribe button. With all of this being said, Aston Martin have said they will be issuing an appeal to get Vettel's points back, which I really hope happens. To me and a lot of other people, he is the one who finished second on that chaotic evening. Let's hope other drivers won't be destroyed by this unfair system in their later races. But what do you guys think? Was the penalty deserved? We encourage opinions from all views on the situation, so comment below and let us know. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and like the video. We'll see you in the next one.